Super Rugby round 5. We are flying through this competition. Yeah, man, time's just going by, which is not a bad thing. Some teams with not the best records playing on the Friday. None of these teams have got more than a single win between them. Admittedly, all of them have had a bye except the Rebels, so that's one less opportunity to get that win. And the Waratahs, whose kit I am wearing today, kind of in sympathy, they don't have a win yet. So now would be a most welcome time for them to get their new campaign underway, because it hasn't been the best start. I've mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. I feel like I saw a little bit of structure from them in that opening loss to the Crusaders, which looked optimistic. And then it kind of hasn't worked out that way. But they are coming off a bye. Likewise, the Lions. And, Highlanders Rebels should be interesting as well. So, we start with the first one, which is the Highlanders up against the Rebels. New Zealand team, Aussie team. Aussie teams traditionally haven't done all that well in New Zealand of late, last few years, although the Brumbies certainly rewrote the script with that one, with an emphatic win over the Chiefs not so long ago. So hopefully the Rebels will be able to take a little bit of inspiration from that one for their trip to Dunedin. And also traditionally the Highlanders home has been a very hard place for other teams to go get a win. Something about playing under that roof seems to put goal kickers off. But we saw the Sharks get a win there this season as well. So it's kind of a weird one. The Rebels usually really start well, and then this season not so much. So it's really kind of up in the air as to how this one is going to go. In terms of the squads, Ash Dixon starting at hooker, so Coltman's on the bench. Jack Wetton starting, Ben Nicholas is starting at blindside. Josh McKay is there on the right wing. So Michael Collins is at fullback. He had a pretty good game, to be fair, in his last outing. Aaron Smith's still there. Mitch Hunt's still 10, so Josh Ioane is still 12. They seem determined to make that work, and now this is another week where we see it happening. I guess, fortunately for the Highlanders, they don't have kind of an Andre Esterhazen running at Josh this week. It's Bill Meek, so he's not a massive kind of battering around ball carrier. He can definitely run the ball, but he's also a distributor as well. So he's definitely not that kind of crash ball player, which may give Josh, a little bit less pressure on him defensively. Rangi starts at hooker for them. Coglenberg also starts in the second row. Cottrell gets a start, so Michael Wells drops to the bench. Tamua is back this week. Although I thought Deegan played really well. He was maybe even worth a second start, but he drops to the bench. And Tom English is back in the squad as well. Ross Haylett-Petty's on the bench. So a little bit of rotation from the Rebels. They certainly need to find some form, but then so do the Highlanders. So whichever team wants it more, you would think, is going to have an advantage, and you can't want it much more than winning in front of your home fans. University is pretty much getting underway here in New Zealand now. If you weren't aware of it, Dunedin is very much a university city here in New Zealand, so they should have a lot more fans at this game, because it'll be the first game since all the students got back. So the semester starts next week. All the students should be in town ready to watch some entertaining rugby. Interestingly, in terms of the prediction, Rugby Forecast algorithm and the bookmakers here in New Zealand are predicting the same result, which is the Highlanders to win this one by 13 points. So pretty comfortably they are predicted to go out and make the Rebels' lives not a whole lot better. The next one, which is the Tars against the Lions. Waratahs' season has not been good. None from 3. They lost to the Crusaders. You can't blame them. They lost to the Blues, and that's not a good look. And it was a pretty emphatic loss, that one too. And then they went and lost to the Rebels, who were kind of looking equally poor at that time, and then the Rebels looked less poor than the Waratahs in that game. So Yeah, it's a campaign that has not been good. The Lions, I think it's fair to say, have been on the decline a bit in the last while in terms of their results last year. And then the start of the season this year hasn't been great. But again, still only early days. They've lost 2 games. They're coming off a bye. I'm not sure how they managed the travel. I'm not sure what day they left South Africa, if they managed to come early or if they decided to do their normal thing, which is to come last minute and try to adjust to the new time zone after having played the first game. That's what they've done before. So, yeah, I'm sure they're picking a strategy to manage it. They'll be hoping it works. In terms of the squads, I think Swinton is starting for the Tars this week, but it's a pretty steady looking pack. Beale's still at fullback. Maddox is there on the wing, along with Wanganit Wase, Carmichael Hunt, Newsom in the midfield. So, yeah, the Lions, they start Camphor at hooker. Sadi gets a start. And Ulengo is on the left wing, which is, I think, is it his first game for the Lions? Yeah, Warner starts at scrum half, so Elton Yankees are still there at 10. You feel like maybe the midfield's an opportunity for the Lions to get an advantage over the Tars, perhaps. Either way, though, the Tars are actually the favourites for this one. 2 points is what the algorithm rugby forecast has to say, and 3 points is what the bookmakers have got. So they're picking this one to be very, very tight. And yeah, you would have to say that kind of is fair. Although I feel like of the two teams, the Lions are maybe kind of better value for what they've showed us so far. I mean, both sides have had a week to fix their mistakes. If the coaches are doing what their job is to identify where the work-ons are. I know it's only a week, but I feel like thus far we've seen more from the Lions than we have the Tars. And that's not just because they've got the one win. The last couple of games, the Waratahs have kind of looked a bit all at sea. So they seem like a team in trouble. But hey, I'm wearing their kit. Hopefully that gives them a bit of good luck. And we'll see what they can do, because nobody wants to see a team just getting absolutely hammered like the Sunwolves did last week. So hopefully they can bounce back a wee bit. You guys let me know your thoughts on these ones. How do you think these teams are going to go? Do you think either of the away teams can go in and upset the home favourites? Because like I said, both teams are favourites by all the predictions that I look at. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.